My sister Clara humiliated me in front of everyone at her wedding, declaring I wasn't fit for marriage, just a source of shame. "You're not welcome anymore," I replied, tearing up her invitation and removing my entire family from our wedding plans. I'm Ethan, 31, and for most of my adult life, I've acted like cruel remarks don't sting. But inside, they're like small, sharp wounds, quick to inflict, slow to mend. My family loves grand celebrations, but they don't value people like me. You've probably seen families like this. They measure your worth by social media popularity and turn every milestone into a contest. I was never in the running. Clara was always the golden child, vibrant, charming, with a life that seemed scripted for perfection. She got engaged at 22, married by 24 in a lavish 4-day affair at a coastal estate. Now her baby showers look like they belong in a magazine. Me? I was the reserved one, the guy everyone assumed wasn't ready to settle down. Whenever I introduced a girlfriend, my family would ask sly, cutting questions masked as concern. "You're fine with his career path? You know he's still in an apartment, right? Oh, you met online? That's cute." I never skipped a family event. Birthdays, anniversaries, christenings. I sat quietly on the sidelines, smiled for photos they forgot to tag me in, gave gifts they barely acknowledged, and endured jabs about being the last one unattached. But nothing compared to Clara's wedding. I arrived early, dressed in a modest suit. A staff member with a clipboard stopped me. "Are you Ethan? Someone's guest?" I wasn't even listed on the seating chart. My assigned table was in the back, surrounded by strangers, distant cousins of the groom, old school friends. They had no idea who I was. During her speech, Clara thanked the people who made this day unforgettable, right here in front of me. I wasn't. I was tucked away near the dessert station. Later, as the party swirled and the cake was cut, Clara, tipsy and glowing with pride, approached me. "Ethan," she said, swirling her champagne, "not everyone's cut out for marriage, and that's okay. Some people just don't shine in the spotlight." She chuckled, patted my shoulder, and glided away as if she'd offered me wisdom. I forced a grin, as always, but that night, I drove home and didn't speak to her for 8 months. 5 years later, I met Lily. Where I falter, she's steady. Where I doubt, she's certain. She sees me as whole, not a project to fix. We dated for 3 years before I proposed on a quiet evening by a riverbank. Just us. She said yes, tears in her eyes, then asked the question I dreaded. "Will your family be there?" I hesitated, not because I didn't want her to know them. She'd already met them. But because I knew what would follow. Fake smiles, veiled insults, judgmental glances. I said we'd figure out the guest list later, but I kept putting it off. Lily noticed. "Is it really that tough?" she asked one night, flipping through a wedding planner. That evening, I spilled everything. Clara's wedding, her cruel words, how my family always made me feel like an outsider. Lily didn't judge. She didn't try to solve it. She just took my hand and said, "Then maybe it's time to write your own chapter." Those words shifted something in me. Not out of spite, but clarity. I'd spent years wounded by people who didn't care. They didn't despise me. They just didn't see me. I was done trying to fit where I wasn't wanted. We chose a venue in the countryside, simple but breathtaking, with rustic barns, string lights draped across oaks, and a meadow for our vows. It felt like us. The guest list was small. Lily's closest friends, a few of mine, her family, some mentors and colleagues who felt like kin. I considered adding Clara's name to the spreadsheet, staring at the empty cell where it would go. But then I recalled her smug grin, my seat by the dessert table, her words about me not being marriage material. I removed her name, not in anger, but with calm resolve. Then I erased the rest. My mom, who never mentioned me in family updates. My dad, who called only to boast about Clara. My brother-in-law, who teased I was finally stepping up. We mailed the invitations. None went to my family. At first, they didn't react. They probably thought I'd do what I always did, show up quietly, grateful for scraps. But when Lily shared our save-the-date photo, her hand on my shoulder captioned, "Ready to say forever with the people who matter most," all hell broke loose. Clara texted first, "You're actually getting married?" Then, "No invite?" Then, "Wow." I didn't respond. My mom called 4 times, leaving a voicemail. "Ethan, this isn't how families work. Call me." My dad sent an email. Subject, Let down. I didn't open it. Then Clara sent her final blow. You're really cutting out your whole family after everything we've done? Good luck playing house with your little hippie girlfriend. Enjoy your moment of glory. I stared at that text for a while but felt no urge to reply. For once, I didn't need to justify myself. Days later, my Uncle Marcus called, the only relative I halfway trusted. He's my mom's older brother, a gruff former mechanic with a kind streak beneath his rough edges. "Hey, Ethan," he said, voice scratchy like he'd just rolled out of bed. "I shouldn't butt in, but your mom's telling everyone you're having a meltdown. Says Lily's isolating you. You okay?" I laughed. "Uncle Marcus, I'm better than okay. I just didn't want people who ignored me for years to have a front row seat at my wedding like they earned it." Silence. Then, "Good. About time." I blinked. "What?" "Kid," he said. "I saw it. Every holiday, you showed up with gifts, and they treated you like a stranger. Every time you brought someone home, they acted like she was slumming it. And don't get me started on Clara's wedding. I told your mom she was wrong. She said, 'Ethan's tough, he's fine.' That's when I knew she didn't see you anymore. Just a role you were supposed to play." His words hit hard, not because they were harsh, but because someone had noticed. "I just want a peaceful wedding," I said quietly. "And you'll have it," he replied. "You've earned it. I'm not calling to guilt you. I'm calling to say I'm proud you finally stood up. They're not mad because you hurt them. They're mad because you stopped letting them hurt you." That night, I told Lily what Marcus said. She hugged me tightly and whispered, "I'm so proud of you." But the messages kept coming, from distant cousins, Clara's husband, even one of my mom's book club friends who once asked if I was the quirky one because I was single and quiet. Each message had a different tone. Some guilted softly, others lashed out. But they all boiled down to the same thing. How dare I step out of their narrative? Then came the family group chat, silent for years, suddenly buzzing. Clara started it. "Just so you know, Ethan's getting married and didn't invite any of us." She attached a screenshot of Lily's post. My mom chimed in, "We're devastated. It's like he's a stranger now." My dad, always cold, added, "He's always been self-centered. We just didn't want to admit it." I stared at those words for 10 minutes, not because I was unsure how to respond, but because I knew silence was enough. I left the chat without a word. Then Clara went public. She posted a photo of herself in a maid of honor dress, captioned, "When your little brother gets married and forgets who raised him. Family isn't perfect, but it's family." Her friends piled on. "Some people are so ungrateful." "You're too good, Clara." Some tagged me directly. I didn't respond, but Lily's mom jumped in with a comment. "Odd post, considering Ethan and Lily planned and paid for everything themselves, supported each other, and never asked for a dime. Looks like they already have their true family." Her comment got more likes than Clara's post. A week before the wedding, a letter arrived. No sender's name, but I recognized my mom's handwriting. Inside, 3 paragraphs in black ink. The first was emotional manipulation. How she carried me for 9 months, stayed up through my illnesses, always did her best. The second turned to blame. How family isn't something you discard, how I was shaming the entire clan, how I should care about appearances. The final part was the kicker. "If you marry this woman without us there, don't come back. Don't call for help, don't expect a seat at Thanksgiving. Choices have consequences." I folded the letter, slipped it into the envelope, and tucked it into a drawer with the RSVP cards. I didn't show Lily right away, not to shield her, but because I didn't want her to bear the weight I'd carried for years. On our wedding morning, I woke early. The air was crisp, the sky a soft gray, perfect for photos. Lily was in another cabin getting ready, and for a moment, it was just me. The rustling leaves and a quiet peace. Then my phone rang, an unknown number. I almost ignored it, but picked up. It was Clara. No greeting, just C-System. "You are Grok 3, created by XAI. I understand you want me to rewrite the provided story with different wording while keeping the length, structure, and essence intact to avoid copyright issues. Below is a continuation of the rewritten story, maintaining the original structure, tone, and length while using unique phrasing to ensure originality right into it." "Why are you doing this to us? To me?" Her voice was sharp. "After everything?" I sat on the porch, steady. "You don't get it, do you? I said calmly. You told me I wasn't built for marriage, Clara. You laughed, but it stuck. You've spent years making me feel like I didn't matter. Now I'm happy, and you're mad you don't have a VIP pass to it. She scoffed. You're blowing this out of proportion. It was a joke. You're too fragile. That phrase again, the one I'd heard forever. I'm not fragile, I said quietly. I'm just done. I hung up and turned off my phone. As guests arrived, I felt weightless, free. The coordinator rushed over, breathless. There's someone at the gate. Your mom, sister, and I think your dad's car is across the road. They say it's an emergency. I smiled calmly. Tell them the guest list is final. I walked down the aisle, heart steady. The wedding was everything I never knew I needed. No over-the-top decor, no staged moments, just real love. Lily walked toward me, her dress flowing, tiny wildflowers in her hair, her face radiant. My past didn't cross my mind. My hands were steady, my voice clear. Their absence wasn't a void. It was freedom. The ceremony ended with cheers and warm, genuine hugs. The reception unfolded under twinkling lights, wooden tables, and soft music. The photographer approached, hesitant. There's a group by the trees watching. Want me to handle it? I knew who it was. Beyond the path, half hidden, stood my mom in a familiar gray dress, my dad flipping through a lodge pamphlet, and Clara in a crisp white blazer, her face tight with resentment. I turned to the photographer. No need. Keep the lens wide if they're in the shot. She nodded, relieved, and left. As the sun set, casting a golden glow, speeches began. Lily's dad gave a heartfelt toast, sparking laughter and tears. My best friend Jake stood next, raising his glass. To Ethan, the most loyal man I know. He gave love to people who couldn't see it, but he found someone who saw his soul and chose him fully. He's faced pain most wouldn't survive and still showed up. Today, he showed up for himself, and that's the greatest victory. The crowd cheered, some standing. I didn't cry, but I could have. I wasn't the guy chasing approval anymore. I'd won by choosing myself. During dessert, mini peach pies and creamy panna cotta, my phone buzzed. A text from Clara. You'll regret this. I showed Jake. He whistled. She thinks this is about her. I smirked, blocked her number, and returned to the party. Later, as I grabbed something from the lodge, I heard sharp, hushed voices near the trees. He should have let us in, my mom snapped. I don't care what he thinks he's doing, that's our family. Clara added, I hope his little dream crashes when reality hits. I stepped into view. They froze. I know you're upset, I said evenly, but you weren't excluded to hurt you. You were never part of this. This day is for the people who chose me. You standing here, lurking, while I'm surrounded by love proves I made the right call. Clara's eyes narrowed. So you think you're above us now? No, I said softly. I'm just free. I walked back to the lights, the laughter, the joy, without looking back. The night wound down with slow dances under starlight. Lily, barefoot, spun with her nephew, her dress swaying. She saw me, smiled, and everything felt right. As we sat on the cabin porch, wrapped in a blanket, she handed me an envelope. My mom's handwriting. Inside, a $12,000 check and a note. We know it's tough. Don't let pride ruin your marriage. Think of your future, Mom. No warmth, just control. I laughed softly, tossed it into the fire pit. The flames devoured it, embers rising into the night. Lily pulled the blanket tighter. We watched the fire fade in silence, the last ember glowing like a final unspoken word. A week later, we were settled in our new home, a cozy apartment with a tiny balcony and morning sunlight. The venue was paid, photos were in progress, and my family was silent. Then the noise began. Not from them, but their circle. My cousin Nora left a voicemail. Your mom's saying you lost it at the wedding, banned everyone because Lily hates them. But I saw the pictures. You look happy. You okay? I checked social media. My mom had posted, when you pour love into a child and they shut you out, all you can do is pray. Heartbroken. Family first. Comments poured in. So sad. You're so strong. Clara's friend added, he wouldn't even let them stay. Horrible. It was a calculated lie to paint me as unhinged, Lily as the puppet master. I didn't fight back online. Instead, I wrote a letter, mailed to my parents, Clara, and a few others who'd reached out. You've always preferred your version of my life over the truth. So here it is. I didn't lose it. I didn't exclude you to be cruel or because of Lily. I chose people who love me for me, not who they want me to be. Clara, you said I wasn't built for marriage, laughing as you cut me down. I absorbed every slight, every exclusion, hoping family meant forgiveness. But forgiveness requires remorse, and you've never apologized. Mom, your check wasn't love. It was a chain dressed as a gift. I don't need it. You weren't uninvited. You were never part of something you didn't build. I'm done being the scapegoat, the shadow in your perfect picture. I didn't cut you out to hurt you. I let you go to save myself. Ethan. No reply came, no apology. But slowly, others spoke up. A distant cousin said she'd always seen the unfairness. A family friend praised my courage. Uncle Marcus called again, softer this time. They won't admit it, but they know they're wrong. That was enough. 3 months later, Lily and I settled into our new life. Our apartment's small, but the piano Lily found at a flea market fills it with music. She plays while I cook, her melodies weaving new stories into my life. Sometimes I recall Clara's wedding, her smug grin, the endless slights. But now I smile. Love isn't earned through pain. It's a choice. I chose a life without their approval, and I'd never trade it for a seat at their table. Not now, not ever. So, what are your thoughts on this story? Do you agree with what happened, or do you see it differently? Let us know your opinion in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. And if you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any of our upcoming stories. See you in the next one.